Go.
Hold on,
Yeah,
before we get started, there's one thing I need to add. Curtis, we welcomed everybody aboard. I want you to know that you are my favorite, and I am so honored to have you as a business partner. And, Debbie's great, but it's about you, brother. God bless you, man. And of course, Rochelle. So just needed you to know that. It's all you. You're the man.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. And by
You
the
got
way,
it.
I
Sorry,
I saw
Debbie. Just gotta be honest.
why you just said that in front of all these people, that is not what your text said. Your text said that Debbie was your favorite.
Well, had you been on earlier, I went off about the fact that Debbie's my favorite. And since you weren't here, I would say that. But with you coming in, I had to at least right the ship a bit.
And by the way, it would have been in the chat box. Somebody would have ratted them out anyway.
Just so you guys, for the
So-
record, since this be recorded and there's like 67 people on here, y'all all know that George is kind of full of, the thing, right?
BS, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Right.
if you're always serious, you're just never going to have fun. So, so guys, thanks for being here. Do you guys have a hard stop at 9, Curtis and Debbie?
I do.
Okay, Curtis does.
I do.
And
Yeah.
Debbie does. One of the things that I wanted to bring to you guys, and this is critical. This is very, very important. I'm actively looking at numbers, and I'm actively talking to agents on a regular basis, not just real estate single agents. I'm talking to teams. I'm talking to expansion teams. I'm talking to owners of real estate companies. I'm saying, hey, what do you think about the real estate market today versus a year ago? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what's going to happen. Holy cow, my business is down. Holy cow, I don't know what to do. Holy cow, I don't have anything in the pipeline. Blah, 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 right? I get it. And here's one of the reasons why. We got overly busy with what was coming in. We stopped doing the activities that carries a pipeline. And I want to share something with you today. There's this, the rule of 5 for guaranteed success in real estate. It's kind of funny because I heard this man say on stage one time, the rule of 5 was the rule of 5. So here's what it sounds like. If you take a tree in your backyard and you just whack it 5 times a day, put the axe down, come back again 5 times, come back again 5 times, will you eventually knock that tree down? Anyone? Yeah, you're going to knock it down. See, consistency, and by the way, that comes from John Maxwell, who teaches on leadership and teaches on consistency and success. Just by picking up the axe, striking the tree 3 to 5 times a day, eventually it'll fall. It doesn't matter how big the tree is. You're making progress every single day. So the size of the tree will determine how long it takes for the tree to come down. If it's a big tree, it's going to take longer. Okay. But here's what's important. Are you sharpening your axe to whack that tree every day? So you take 2 axes, one sharper than the other, the sharp axe is going to get it. Right. So number one, are you doing the activities by picking it up and whacking the tree, but also are you preparing for the best results by sharpening? Are you sharpening your axe? And when we talk about sharpening your axe, it means, are you scripting role playing every day? Are you reading your scripts? Are you practicing with your colleagues? Are you doing the activities to create the pipeline? And I'm not going to call anyone on this call. I'm not even going to, I'm just going to say this as a factual truth. If you don't start doing the activities right now today, you will continue to get the same results that you were getting 2 weeks ago. You're feeling the pain. Inman said, had some of the top real estate company owners, presidents in a meeting. It's hitting faster and harder than they ever expected. Now, it's not going to be a 2008 and a crash, but it is hitting harder and faster. It's actually going back to where it was in probably 2010 or 11. You don't see it, you don't realize it, but you are going to start feeling it and realizing it real soon. Some of you are already feeling it. If you stay consistent with your axe and you just sharpen your axe every single day, you will prosper. Now, this is where Debbie comes in. Speak to one past client or person in your sphere of influence a day. Hey, just call and say hi. How's everything going? Blah, 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 blah. Right? You're not asking for business. You don't have to. So rule number one, sharpen your axe. Rule number two, speak to one past client or person in your sphere of influence each day. Number three, add value to 5 homeowners every day. Hey, can I do a CMA? Hey, can I do an equity analysis for you? Calling, how are things going? You know, find out what they love about their house. Hey, since you moved in, what do you love about it? What do you love about the community? You're just staying in contact with them. You're not asking them for business. Add value to 5 potential buyers every day. You have a buyer's pipeline. If you don't have a buyer's pipeline, where are all those buyers that you got from open houses? Okay. And then number 5, add people in value to your database every single day. Do you know the number one reason the consumer doesn't reach out to the realtor they know or have bought and sold or had a relationship but go back to them is because you're not following up with your database at all. Matter of fact, I've been on a phone call with a great company called Agent Hub 360. I haven't done anything, but their program, I'm like, oh, that's expensive. But when I might go, holy cow, you make the calls, you make the text messages, you guys engage in it. And they're like, yeah, we don't just send out emails, because here's what we know. It doesn't work because you guys already do it. So we came up with this program that says, hey, what are the main things that an agent doesn't do with their database? So they have this big pot of gold and they just let it sit there and deteriorate. So the rule of 5, and then I'm going to turn this over to Debbie and Curtis to really kind of elaborate on some stuff. And I know that they love this part because this is all about what they do with grit. Sharpen your axe. I'm telling you, I know scripts still to this day that I used to use for sale by owner expired sphere of influence call. I know them verbatim because they're instilled in my head. I know the objections well, but if I go back into sales and sell every day and do the grind, I'm going to pull them out and I'm going to study them every day before I even make my calls. I had an agent tell me about 6 months ago, Tom, you don't understand how hard it is to get listings because you're not doing the business anymore. I said, oh, okay, really? All right. I just got on the phone and I said, hey, so-and-so, I just got a listing. And by the way, I'm not actively really selling real estate. So if I can do it, you can. So don't put me in a position to prove you wrong because you don't want to do the activities. I'm going to call bull crap on you right now. If you do the activities, you'll earn the opportunity. And nothing is called luck. So don't go looking at another agent and go, oh, they're just lucky. No, they did the activity, which created the opportunity, and they converted it. There's no luck there. People win the lottery. It's not luck. They went to the store. They bought a ticket. Way more than I did. I don't go to the store and buy tickets. I just don't do it. I don't play the lottery, so I'll never win. I don't call that luck. They took an action and they will reap the rewards of their actions. Okay. So sharpen your axe. Speak to one past client or person in your sphere of influence every day. Come on, guys. It's not hard to do. Add value to 5 homeowners every day. Send them a neighborhood, activities thing. Hey, the park is putting a child, an infant seat in the swing. That's a big deal to a lot of people. Whatever it is, add value to 5 buyers each day. Hey, the interest rates just went below 5%, guys. Come on. Add value to 5 people in your database every day. There's, there's so many different things that you can do. AM cards. I'm a member of AM cards. If I say, hey, I just talked to a seller, I send them a card. If I talk to a buyer, I send them a card. Thank you for your time. These are active. This is your job, by the way, guys. I want you guys to understand, if you're not sharpening your axe right now, you are doing a favor for the people that are. You are making their job easier. So by quitting now, or not doing the activities, or sitting there just waiting, you're giving Deep, Frank Hopkins, and all these other ones that are doing the activities, you're doing them a favor. And they're not even having to pay you a referral fee. So seriously, I talked to an $11 million producer a couple weeks ago. He's done 2 deals this year. I think I shared that with Claire. He's done 2 deals this year, guys. He's broke. He's broke. He's been in the business 3 years. He goes, yeah, real estate, I don't like it. I said, no, you don't like it because you don't want to do the activities. You were an order taker and you happen to be around the right people where you were getting the business. You did some of those activities, but you never formed a database. You never lead generated. And you didn't do this, but you sat on the beach insulting other realtors about how great you were and how you're at parties writing contracts. Now, where are you today? I'm actually looking for someone that might be an assistant to me. Would you be interested? I didn't say that, but you know, it's true. I spoke with one of the top real estate companies owner 2 days ago here. They're the #1 real estate company in this area, and it's not even a franchise. And I said, Bill, what do you see happening? He goes, opportunity. We're going to flush out all the agents that are the big mouths that don't want to do things right, and we're going to have our opportunity. He's been in the business for 23 years. He's seen what happened. So sharpen your axe, reach out to your database, stay engaged with your people, stay engaged on these calls, and you're winning. All right, there you go, guys. I know I took up way more time than I should have. Debbie, Curtis, I'd love to hear your perspective on the rule of 5 for success for the real estate agent.
Well, I'll talk for like a minute or two because that's all I got, but that's all good, Preacher Tom. Jesus.
Preacher Tom.
I felt like I was in church just a minute ago. No, I'm just it's all good.
I didn't cuss, did I?
No, you didn't. Here's
All
the
right,
thing.
good.
I heard you start quoting some John Maxwell and stuff. Love that guy. And I know Deb and I got the opportunity to listen to him or see him in person. We were like in 5th row or whatever. And Tom, you might have been there. But the one thing he talked about was he said we got uphill dreams and hopes and we got downhill habits, right? And that's what he said we got to work on, right? And so there's a disconnect there. And so I love where your head's at talking about getting back to it. When we created Grit, we kept it to 5 5 5 5 5 30 hard or whatever, and we kept it as simple as possible for that very reason, so that we could create the habits in a 30-day period of time to then go on and continue on. And we knew that that minimum amount of effort, right, just calling 5 people a day, emailing 5 people, texting 5 people, that it would generate business. And we've all experienced that stuff. And so if you're out of practice right now, get back into it, because as well as I do, and we've all experienced it, that when we get into action, while we might not see an immediate result today, we get results within a couple of days or whatever. We start to build momentum on that. And so you can get back and, that's what I love about real estate. I do. You can get fat and happy and rich real fast. You just got to get into action. And so I loved where your head was at. I'm going to share one more thing, because you start talking about scripts, and I think we all got away from scripts when we're order taking and taking orders or whatever, and we all got to experience that over the past couple of years. Thank God for COVID was a blessing and a curse at the same time, right? Many people were sick and passed away, unfortunately, and yet at the same time, for whatever reason, it made some incredible real estate market and a bunch of rock stars out of people, which I think is great. But when that happened, we got out of practice with everything else, and so. Deb and here's what I say about scripts, because I hear people say, well, it doesn't sound like me and I don't have them in front of me and all this other stuff. So here's a tip. You can take and learn scripts and internalize it within like a couple of hours. Like there's a system to it. You just pull it out, you read it, you write it, you do it about 5-6 times. Can I turn my mic up a little bit? I'll talk louder. and then you've internalized it, it creates and it became your script. And I'll just share a real quick story. So Deb and I used to be coaches with a big traveling organization, all this other stuff. You guys know that. And so here's what they said to us. It was really funny. They said, hey, listen, and we all gathered in Austin, Texas once a year. And so you got 50 of your peers in a room. And what they said was, they said, y'all are going to come out here and you have to learn the listing presentation script. And it was 5 pages, people, 5 pages. And here's what they said they were going to do. They said, what we're going to do is we're going to put everybody's name in a hat. We're going to draw your name. And then we're going to pick a spot in that 5 pages of script. And you're going to have to come up to the room, in the front of the room, in front of everybody. And you're going to have to say the script. So of course we all panicked and not one of us wanted to do it. Not any of us knew the script at any level whatsoever. Like we knew the first paragraph and that was about the extent of it. But here we were being put on the spot and we were going to play this game. And they said that everybody's going to have to go. And so you need to learn that script. So of course I panicked, called Debbie. Debbie, what do you think about this? She's like, oh my God, this makes me not even want to go. Right? Like, I don't know this script. Right? Nobody wants to stand up in front of their peers and do all that stuff. So here's what happened. So I'll tell you what I did. So I sat down, I printed out that script. I wrote it 2, 3, 4 times. And then I started practicing it line by line. And so here's one of the ways that you can do that. You read the first line 5 times and you say it out loud. And then you add the second line to it, do that 5 times. Then you add the third line to it, you do that 5 times, and so on and so forth. My friends, within about 3 hours, I knew 3 pages of script by heart. 3. Now, here's the end of the story. We flew out to Austin, Texas, and we didn't have to do it. But I knew 3 pages of the script, I can tell you that. So anyway, learn scripts. That number one was just learn the darn thing. And then you don't have to stare at it or look at it. And then it became your own. You can internalize it, toss in a couple words here and there, your own personality. Bada bing, bada boom. Now it sounds like you. Now it sounds like you. That was number one. Number 2, listen. When we're making calls to our database and all these other people, my friends, that's working on your business. That's building your business. See, we get up every day and we're like all up in it. Like we're just in it. We got things going on. We're talking to home inspectors. We got fires we're putting out, mortgage people and all sort of stuff. And that's just being in your business. That's the thing that you do. But just make sure that you carve out time to work on building your business. And that's the lead gen part. That's the lead gen part. And unless you got a pile of money and can go run advertising that generates the leads where people are calling you saying, come list my house tomorrow. Come sell me a house right this second. I'm ready to offer. Like, I don't know any of us that have that. I certainly don't. But I do know that we can lead generate and work on our business and do it that way. And we all know that there's a greater return in that anyway. So pick your number, whatever it is. I'm going to do 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, whatever. Like, here's what we all do. And I hate this part about the real estate business roller coaster. We're rich, we're broke, we're rich, we're broke. That's just because we don't have consistency to our lead gen. That's all. That's the only reason. It's the only reason. We kept our pipelines fat. We've never experienced the highs and lows, ever. And we'd constantly be building our business. I don't know. Did I sound like a preacher for a minute? I'm sorry about that. You gave me a couple minutes, so I did. So whatever.
Love it.
Preach it,
Thanks.
brother. Preach it. Preach it.
I'm done now. I gotta go.
Deb's up.
Hey,
No, she's
hey,
gotta
Tom,
go
hey,
too.
Tom, hey, Tom and Curtis. Let me tell you something, guys. You have the nicest coaches you've ever seen. When I got into this business, you know what I was told? I got 3 listings one month. And my guy, when I came in, he says, 3 listings. I was all proud. He says, 3 listings. He said, Fred, I could take a jackass, put a sandwich sign on it, march it around this town and say, list your home here with me. And he would get 5 listings. So what does that make you? That's the kind of coaching I got. Guys, you are so nice.
I love that.
That's why you're the godfather.
Hey.
So I'll add 2 tips and I got to run. The 2 tips are get a script and role play partner, do it together, make it fun, get someone else that you meet with 15 minutes, twice a week, 3 times a week, 5 days a week is better. 15 minutes, no chitty chat. You get on the phone, you say the script, you get off the phone. That's it. You just practice, and it's accountability. It's showing up because you have an appointment and the other person's going to be there. So it makes you do it. Number 2, while you're getting good at your script, when you get on the phone, turn the script upside down and just help the person on the other end. You'll hear bits of the script coming out. It's not perfected yet, but that's okay. Just help the person. Don't get so hung up like, oh my God, I'm not ready to do the script and I'm going to screw it up. Turn the script upside down when you get on the call and just help the person that's in front of you the best you can. The more you practice the script, the more that language will feed into your calls. And the things that I would really practice is how to help a buyer who's resistant to move forward today and how to help a seller who's resistant to list today. Because I think those are the 2 things that we're running into, right? Because they're like, I don't know if it's a good time. Get good at helping them see the value. And I want to say, see the value. We talked on last week's call about showing them, not tell, well, I told them the interest rates went down. No. You have to show them a visual. What does it mean that the interest rates went down? The interest rates went up. Show them a visual. It changes their monthly payment $20. It's really not significant if you're talking to someone from yesterday to today. So show them why listing their home now is good. Show them why buying a home now is good. And you have to do that with visuals. You can't tell them because it doesn't sink into their brain. You have to show them with some sort of visual. And I'm out. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Deb. Hey, real quick, who on this call would like to earn $100,000 a year just from a script? I promise you, just from the scripts only. That's it. This is in addition to your database. This is in addition to, and then I got to let George say something. All right, I put in the chat box, and let me explain what I put in there. I put 2 things in there. One is called my lead generation scripts, and the other one's a lead generation memory jogger. So there's 3 scripts that I mastered in that lead gen scripts. And I made way over 100,000 my very first year. And by the way, guys, let me put this in perspective. My very first year in full year in real estate, I was at Coldwell Banker. I sat beside some of the biggest teams, George Philbeck, Mike Krantz, and all I did was for sale by owners, expireds, and sphere of influence. I didn't have a sphere of influence, so I did for sale by owners and expireds. I didn't do open houses, and I made $100,000. And by the way, guys, the average sale price was under $90,000. Okay, so here's the thing: you want to make $100,000? That's doing probably about 75% less than what I had to do. Realistically, because the prices are 4 times that right now. The average sale price is $350,000, $400,000. So master the for sale by owner, master the expired script. Oh, there's not a many expires. There will be. Agents are taking 30-day listings. They're lasting longer than 30 days. They're coming up. And also your sphere of influence. Now that's what I did. Now you don't have to use those same 3 scripts. There's other scripts in there, but I promise you, if you master them and take action on them and do it, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. And I'm passionate about this. If I didn't make 50 contacts in a day, I was not going home. Now, I just said this, no dialer, didn't have a dialer. I had to speak with 50 people a day in order to go home. And by the way, how did I track that? I had a piece of paper because we didn't have the system trackers that you guys have today, but you wouldn't use anyway. And I also had Monopoly money, $1 bill for every call I made, a $5 or a $10 bill for everyone that yelled at me and hung up on me, and a $50 bill for every appointment or whatever. And then I counted the money at the end of the day, and that's how much money I made. Sound crazy? Changes your perspective. Changes your thought process, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. If you do the activities, I use this, there was a guy that I met in Atlanta, and here's what he said. He goes, I love rejection. I can't wait to get rejection on the phone. He retired from MMA fighting. He goes, I'm not getting punched in the face for a paycheck anymore. It hurts. He goes, I got married and I became weak. I started to have feelings. So when I wasn't married, I could beat the crap out of someone. When I got married, I started to have feelings and I started to lose fights. So I had to retire. When I got hung up on and yelled at, I was like, oh, that feels so much better than getting punched or kicked. Put things in perspective for you. How hard would it be for you to go work at a lumber yard or a landscaping job? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those, but what if you don't succeed in this business and you have to go do something that you just despise doing and then you're going to complain about it? Do the things you need to do. I promise you, you'll succeed at it. George, go ahead.
All right. So Tom and I were literally office side by side. What I want to challenge you guys with is neither of us had a center of influence. Neither of us had anything to do. And we made a commitment that 3 hours a day minimum, we're going to be on the phone prospecting. Now, it doesn't mean you have to use phones, but what it does mean is that for your business to thrive, you're going to need to do the hard work. We did it together. Now, y'all make your own decisions. This is 20 years later. Both of us have had a pretty strong career. I put some notes in the chat that are relevant, like I beat Tom in FSBOs. I made more. I crushed him. I mastered it. He was trying. Boston accent hurt him in the South. All that is true, but he still stuck with it, even though he was second best. And look at him now. He's a phenomenal leader. Although, you know, Debbie and Curtis are above him, but he's still second best. But he's a really good. No, I'm kidding. He's phenomenal, folks.
I love
Your
chasing
commitment
people.
right, your commitment to doing the hard part, particularly now when the market is going through a transition. This is an opportunity for your career, the rest of your life, to be amazing. And we're here to support you. And it absolutely entails you saying, I'm going to commit to it. Okay. I just wanted to add that because, as I said, Tom and I worked really closely. We were side by side, literally office to office. We'd walk out. How'd you do? I got $40. It means you talked to 40 people. I mean, that's literally how we did it. And we put a little checks. I'm not implying you have to call for sale matters. Maybe you're saying I'm committed to open houses and I'm going to sit in an open house 4 days a week, both days on weekends, and Monday and Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to sit there too.
George,
just
I
because I've
didn't
got an
have
opportunity.
an office. I had a spot in an office that didn't
Yep.
have a chair, and it was a stand-up counter with a phone with a cord attached to it.
That's the only kind of
Okay.
phone they had.
It wasn't even a
He had a little,
handless-
to be fair, folks, he had a little princess phone. Y'all remember those with little girly phones? His was pink, had a long cord.
whatever
And
works.
he'd
Doesn't
walk around
matter to
talking
me.
on that.
Doesn't matter.
All right. I'm gonna go off for just a little bit, just so everybody knows. This the website, the link to get to these calls is gpsmastermind.com. It'll push you there real quickly. Tiffany, we're going to turn this off when you close this down. This link is going to stay live. At 10 o'clock, I am doing a live listing presentation. We'll be recording it. It's so everybody's got it. But if you want to stick around or you want to come back onto it, don't close this down, Tiff. We just keep this link going. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to do a live listing presentation. So anybody that's interested in sticking around for it, there's no talking. I'm going to be doing it with a friend of mine, with Mark Younger. He's going to be the person that he asked for it. So I want to do it for everybody if you want it. It is going to be recorded, so you don't have to. It'll be available for you. And all the tools that we're using will be attached to that recording in YouTube, so you can download them as you see fit. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I got to prep for it. I'll see y'all at 10, I hope. If not, we'll have it for you saved no matter what.
George, thank you. I want to be very transparent. I never had the best listing presentation. I never mastered the listing presentation, but I mastered the scripts to get appointments. So I had to go on more appointments to get more listings because I didn't master the listing presentation. I brought a listing presentation, but I didn't master it like I should have. I always went on what I thought I knew, and I would get listings left and right. Guys, if you just do the activities, and here's what I said, listings, right? Right now, if you can get one listing per week, that's 4 per month, that's 48 per year, you're gonna sell 38 of those. The other 10 are gonna probably not sell or just decide they don't wanna sell. 38 listings, okay, creates a solid buyer. Now we have 76 sales. And by the way, we also have another 38 referrals. So, and if you're working with buyers, I'm not telling you to stop. What I'm saying is it's still a lot of time in buyers transition to get listings. People say to me all the time, I like working with buyers because they're awesome and I love and care about people. No, you like working with buyers because that's all you have, and you don't want to make a phone call to a seller because you're petrified. That's the, let's face it. Seriously. Stop saying that if you like working with buyers and that's all you want to work with, go on a team. And the team lead will pay for all those leads, get all those buyers for you and everything else. If that is your number one focus, go on a team. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's less cost to you. It's less, you get provided leads and support and everything else. Yeah, your split's going to be whatever with that agent. But if that's what you want to be, I'm not telling you not to do it. Go on a team. Relieve the financial stress in your own mind and go on a team. There's nothing wrong with that. Jenny Weimert's a great friend of mine, and her buyer's agents are making $200,000-$300,000 a year, and they love it. They're provided leads, they're provided the appointments, they're provided everything, and they don't get 50-50. They get like 30%. Okay, they're out there representing her company and writing contracts. If you are looking to grow a business, get those scripts and start mastering them. I'm telling you. And by the way, someone mentioned in the chat, Lori. So Lori, I put the scripts in again. I got my numbers from a couple of different places. I was a stalker. I'm going to find you. Okay. If it's a for sale by owner, they give you the number right through Zillow or blah, blah, blah. Expireds. I used to use a system called Spokeo, S-P-O-K-E-O. I could find out where they grew up and went to high school. I can find, I called this lady and I couldn't find her number. She had an expired condo in a penthouse and it said family members, son, daughter, blah, 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 and phone number. So I called the son and it's in Manhattan. And the lady goes, how the F did you get my effing number? Who the F are you? And blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. I said, I'm just trying to find the owner so I can help her sell it. She goes, if you went through all that, send me the listing paperwork. By the way, it was a fax then, right? I never met her, but she was like, holy cow. I mean, she swore at me. Every other word was a cuss, but that's their language up there. For some, that's their language. Okay. So don't take it personal. Eagle Burger, if you guys know the name, the father was Secretary of State for Ronald Reagan. I got in touch with politicians. However, I got in touch with them, it was through Spokeo.com. But most important, I used a system called the Red X. It costs me $79 a month for for sale by owners and expireds. Right now, it's a little more money because you can get a dialer in it, and I highly recommend you get a dialer. For $199, you can get for sale by owners, expireds, a thing called GeoLeads where you can geo-farm a community. Don't get it unless you're going to use it. I know people that have it and they pay for it every month and they don't use it. So if you make a commitment to do it, and don't anybody tell me you can't afford it, you can't afford not to do it if you'll make the calls, because the revenue will come in. Okay. So definitely get those scripts, practice them, and consistency will bring you everything you need. usphonebook.com. Mike, thanks for putting that in. Do you know, when I first started with this guy at Coldwell Banker, I said, I want to be the #1 single agent, and he laughed at me. I said, no, I do. How do I do it? Well, those scripts that I just put in there, he gave me that packet. That's the packet he gave me. And by the way, Mike Ferry is one of the most renowned coaches in real estate, and he still gives the same scripts. Hey, by the way, does anybody in the Orlando area know who Milton James is? Go ahead and just say, yeah. All right. So do you know who his coach is? Mike Ferry. Do you know what scripts he uses? Mike Ferry. Those scripts that I just gave you. Oh, Milton's killing it. No, Milton worked his butt off. He works his butt off. I don't care how arrogant or egotistic he is. He does the work. And you know, 2 years ago, when he was with his mother's company, he wasn't doing nearly the production he's doing today. He got more focused. He got rid of the distractions, and he's killing it. He's on his 70th listing for the year, or more by now. Where? For sale by owners, guys. Expireds. For sale by owners and expireds. I'm telling you, and it's not for everyone. You got to get some thick skin going there. But here's the reality. It doesn't matter. They're not going to hurt you or harm you. They hang up on you. We deal with more abuse from our kids and our family most of the time. Come on. All right. I forgot where I was going. Anyway, it's open to you guys. 9:16. Because I'll keep rambling on and on. But more importantly, guys, this is the time for opportunity. So in our board of realtors, Emily, I'll get you 1 second. In our board of realtors, there's 2,236 realtors. 2,236, and we're just in a small town of Daytona, right? I'm willing to bet that we're going to have less than 1,800 realtors January, first week of January. More than 20% of them are going to be out. It breaks my heart for them. Here's why. Because they're with us. Almost said it. They're with a broker who could care less about them and care about their money. They're failing and they're not being able to pay their bills, and their broker doesn't give a crap. But, you know, they have big parties. You know, oh yeah, I got to get invited to a party. Yeah, who cares? You paid for it out of the last 3 transactions you did, dummy. All right. So realtors are suffering right now. The ones that are suffering, bring them into these calls. And by the way, it may help you, by the way, because they may say, oh my gosh, you're a success. And deep down inside, you're going, I'm failing right now. I need help. Now you got to lead by example. I carry this little token that says lead by example. No, I'm not working with buyers and sellers, but if anybody wants to challenge me because they don't want to do the work themselves and they don't think it works, by all means, give me 10 phone numbers of for sale by owners in your neighborhood, and I'll call them, and I want a 50% referral. Okay. And I may even want more because you're not doing the work and you want me to do it for you. Just do it. Don't pay me a darn referral. Go ahead and do it. You will get it. All right, Emily, sorry. I would have kept rambling.
No, I threw up the clapping hands, not the hand up, but you're wonderful. And it's about doing the work. I can say that from experience and my own experience that my business started slacking because I stopped doing the work, right? So it really just takes those phone calls and the connection. And yeah, I mean, obviously, you know what you're talking about. So.
Thank you. You know, there's not a science to it. It really, I have agents that I coached and mentored and that I brought into this industry 9-10 years ago, and they're with the former companies, and they'll be like, Tom, what do you think is going to happen? I said, I don't know. Stay there and you'll go down with the Titanic.
True.
You know, if you want me to help you, I got other people I'm helping first because it's called family first. You guys are my work family first. The other people in the other companies are second. And by the way, I don't have time for second right now. If you want something that's going to help you grow, get on these calls and join our company, because I don't have time to make sure that you're successful to keep paying your brokers parties. I'm not doing it. That might sound very bad and harsh, but my immediate family is first. The Claires, the Liz's, and all you guys on this call, if I was out helping all these other real estate companies, I wouldn't be able to be here to provide any kind of support for you guys. So family first and them second. You want to grow and you want to move forward with a highly successful company and other people, just get engaged in the calls first. And then if you occupy my time, I need an opportunity to tell you about this company. If you choose not to know about it, then go stay where you are and die. Not die personally, but die in the business. You know, go down with the Titanic. It's a beautiful ship. Go sink with it versus get into that little boat and go off to the side. I don't know what to tell you. Too many other people want to be saved. And that's what we need to focus on. Clea.
Tom, thank you as always. And I just want to add something. When you are doing your daily activities, make each conversation that you have with someone purposeful. And the reason why that I say that is I was actually helping my mom. She had a car accident. And so I was helping her talk to not her insurance company, but the insurance company of the person who hit her. Come to find out, just by asking questions, where are you located? How are you doing? This person had newly transferred from Philadelphia to Tampa. So I said, great. Are y'all renting or are you buying? And she goes, I'm so glad you asked. So picked up a new buyer, and she needs to sell her place in Philly. So picked up a listing just from having a purposeful conversation through daily activities. And I know that I put in the chat, when you're making your calls, all of us that are busy do not realize that we are shortcutting our value of how we can add value to the people that we're speaking to on a daily basis, which takes it from A to P. So if I have to call somebody about my insurance or whatever, my daily activities, and I want to add them to my database, or I want to add value to them, it's just one simple question. It's a few simple questions. So then I haven't had to cold call. I'm on a warm call, and I've developed a trust and a relationship with someone that reaps the benefits of what is to come. And that, to me, helps me on my daily path. When I was on vacation with my mom, had a conversation with my cousin. He wants to sell his house in Panama City on 38, and he wants to move to this side of the coast. Okay, $1 million seller, $1 million buyer, plus he's going to buy investments because he wants to do Airbnb. It's going to turn out to be 5 transactions. So in less than a week, just from being purposeful and adding value, like what Debbie and Curtis and Tom tell us every day, is just making the conversations that we have of value of the people that we're around. Well, have you looked at this area? Well, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? You know, my mom's going through a situation. She had no idea. I called Ali. Thank God for our family, because Tom was talking about family first. Thank God for Ali. My mom didn't even realize that she would be able to purchase a home with a reverse mortgage. Had I not made the purposeful call and listened to the people around me, wouldn't have been able to even know that. So all of the people that are on these calls, Deep, Liz, Tom, all of these people add value to us because we don't have to know all the answers. We're the source of the source, which makes our lives easier, which adds to those rule of 5 that Tom was talking about earlier. Every day, all day, purposeful conversations with people makes your life easier.
I'd like everyone, thank you, Claire. Claire's always has the best words. I swear, Claire has actually called me and said, I want to correct you on a few things, or I want you to look at it this way a little bit, because she's got such great words. I want you guys to do something for me right now. I want you to write on a piece of paper. If you're driving, obviously you can't write, but I want you to think about who is the most important person to you right now in your life. Right? And if I look at Liz's right here in front of me, I know it's her family, because it's more than one person. It's her husband and her kids. So who is the most important person to you in your life right now? All right. So write it down and just say, I'm going to do whatever it takes to provide the best life possible for us. Or say, you're not worth the phone call rejections I get, so we will have mediocre or mediocrity life. Who's willing to do that? Are you willing to go tell the person you just wrote down, hey, we're not going to have the most financial successful life because I'm not willing to do the work? Are you willing to tell your children, you're not going to the college you desire because I'm not willing to get hung up on the phone? Are you willing to go tell your husband or spouse, hey, I'm not willing for us to have an anniversary vacation or vacation every year because I don't want to be hung up on, my pride is too much. All right?
Yeah, Tom, and I'm going to add to that is one of the things that I did in the evening as I was downloading my day and getting prepared for the next day. Liz watched that I had to make 26 calls a day, and I could not lay my head on my pillow at night and look at my husband and say, I got my job done. She heard this, look at her, she's shaking her head over and over and over again, the hours in building and building and building. I could not look him dead in the face and say I did my job if I made 20 calls, because I had to make 26 calls,
Yeah.
you know, and that was important because I was staying accountable to my goals,
Yeah.
my God, my dreams, my desires. And what did that encompass? Making sure that the team, each individual person on the team, that they were reaching their goals. That was more important. And so just like today and every day, you know, it's God, family, and business.
Yeah.
And I have to keep those in priority. And it's not always easy. However, with the help of you
Oh, she froze on
and
us.
my coaches and everything lead me astray.
Yeah. I want you to think about something. I was speaking to a young man, he's not young, he's a year or two younger than me. So yeah, a young man. And he's struggling really, really bad in his relationship with his spouse. And I said to him this, I said, what are you doing spiritually to grow? What are you doing physically to grow? What are you doing to grow? And he goes, what are you talking about? I said, are you reading? Are you surrounding yourself around great people? Are you praying for this? Or are you doing this? And here's where I'm going with it. So if you want to do the activities, but you're not learning based, it's going to be tough for you. If you want to succeed, but you're not coachable, it's going to be tough. So what are you doing to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and all physically in all these different areas to achieve the goal? Remember, who do you have to become to achieve the goal that you desire is what you have to ask yourself. So if you want to earn $100,000 a month, who do you have to become to earn $100,000 a month? Who do you know making $100,000 a month? Go hang around them for a couple of days. Okay. If you want to earn $10,000 a month, go hang around people that are earning $10,000 a month.
Like Tom Martin.
If you wanna, you have to go ask yourself, who do I have to be to become where I want to go? Right? You can't keep doing the same things that you do every single day and become the person that you want to become. It's just not going to work. It doesn't work that way. Right? It's that thing on the wheel, the mouse or rat on the wheel. It just keep going and going and going, moving the legs and going nowhere. Well, I appreciate every single one of you. I wish you nothing but great success. Hopefully today you got something out of this call, whether it's scripts, whether it's words of wisdom, whether it's no matter what it is. Also, I was up in North Carolina quite a bit the last 12 weeks. And I wasn't as purposeful in my business because I had other priorities, but I did make a meeting with one of the top EXP attractors who lives he lives literally 7 miles from my son. So I had an opportunity to sit with him, and let me tell you, I asked him out for lunch. He paid. Number one, I was like, no. He goes, you'll insult me if you don't allow me to pay, because I'm going to learn more from you than you're going to learn from me. And I'm like, you have no idea. I got my notes and I'm ready to pick your brain. So by me asking the questions from him and him providing the answers to me, he said, Tom, look at my notes. So he learned from me and I learned from him. What I want you to do is think about this. Who are you reaching out to? Because I want to be at 2,300 agents and he's at 2,300. And you know what? he leads just like I do. He does. He said, Tom, you are going to be bigger than I am because, and I was like, no, Rich, his name's Rich Tomasini. He's an awesome guy. He goes, we're a lot alike. I'm like, no. He goes, I see it. You don't see it, right? So here's what I want you to do. Find someone who's in the production level you want to be in. And if it means traveling to go meet with them for a day or two just to shadow them, you got to do it. Find a way to do it. And by the way, he told me, he goes, I would love for you to join our workplace group, and it's called EXP Family Tree. He said it's open to all EXP agents. And I said, well, what's the value in there, Rich? He goes, we have some of the top masterminds with some of the top teams, top agents, top attractors with this company, and top coaches on this doing calls regularly. So Claire and Liz, I know you guys are chatting back and forth somehow. I can see it. I'm going to call you out on it. So join his page, and there's 7,000 EXP agents in there. And by the way, you might start getting some referral opportunities. So it's called EXP Family Tree. It's Rich Tomasini, and he's an awesome guy. And I challenge every single one of you to go out and hang out with somebody that you want to become. I don't want to be a Rich, but I want to have the numbers he has, right? So go out and hang out with someone that you want to become. There, that's it.
I'm gonna go ahead and